Hello, everybody, worldwide, actually. Welcome to our Tract live stream. We are really excited today to be featuring Penn State University Moonshot Hope Project. This is a very special project which enables anyone, all of you, to submit via your computer or hope for the future, which will then be actually sent to the moon in June, I believe. And you'll get the exact date soon. And we would really welcome you to send whatever your hopes are. So I will tell you personally what my hope is. I've been a teacher for many years, probably longer than most of you have been alive, 40 years. And yes, and I have a specific hope that, well, I guess my main hope is that we can all in America be peaceful and friends again, because we're all Americans and we all have the same goal to live a good life and have our children live a good life. But part of my hope, which is probably just going to be a little bit more complicated, is that I want education to be equal for everyone, educational opportunities. So that's my hope for 2021 and beyond. At this point, I guess I would like to introduce Justin Aglio, who is from Penn State University, and he's head of something called the Readiness Institute. And let me just tell you, we all need to be ready. So, Justin, off to you.
Thank you, Esther, and hello, everyone. And I'm so excited to be here tonight to share with you about the Hope Moonshot Project. And to me, we all need a little hope in this world right now, no matter who you talk to, no matter if it's about poverty, no matter if it's about education, whatever it is, we all need a little hope. And so at Penn State University, when we thought about this Hope Project, we knew that we needed an ambitious project to really stress the fact that we need hope in this world, and just understand that hope is the beginning of something. So when we think of ambitious projects, we think of moonshot projects. And that's when we reached out to Esther and her team and said, hey, Esther, let's think of a hope moonshot. And so we created a portal where you could submit your hope moonshot, and we will launch a rocket to the moon. It will land on the moon. And the point is that every night when you go outside into the night sky and you see the moon, you know that your moon is directly landed on that moon. If your moon and if your hope can reach all the way to the moon, and there's a chance your hope can become true on Earth. And that's what we want to push out, is that we want people to think big. And we want you to understand that your hope is really going to the moon. And if you think about it, that's such an ambitious project that it can never happen. Well, guess what? It's happening. So if it's happening to your hopes can happen on Earth. And we know that readiness begins with hope. We hope that's the first step into making your hope become true on Earth. So we're very excited to launch this project at Penn State University. We're also excited to partner with people like Esther and companies like Astrobotics. And I just talked to the company Astrobotics today, and they said they want to continue to build off this momentum and do future projects. So we're encouraging you to submit your hopes by January 22nd. And I'll share with you my hope that I submitted. My hope was that we are able to celebrate and love diversity within this world, that we need to continue to be kind to each other, and every day love whoever you come in contact with, and just continue to embrace that. So that's my hope. And I'm going to turn it back over to the facilitators of this conversation, because I think they have something special to show you right now.
think we're going to start now with Ryan. Is that right, Ryan? Who is going to help us move forward here. And also, I'd just like to say that Moonshots in Education, my nonprofit, is also sponsoring part of this. So we're really excited to be part of this program.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julien, and I'm a Penn State student taking part in this project. I am just one of the many Penn State students that are a part of this because I think as a whole, everybody at Penn State has a hope. Anybody that's in education everything starts with a hope. And I'm really glad to be a part of this. And I just like to share my hope with everyone. So being a Penn State student, Penn State has a philanthropy run by the student body called Thon, and I'm pretty involved in that. So I'd say that my hope is to find a cure for pediatric cancer someday, because Thon itself is a student-run philanthropy whose mission is to help families and children battling childhood cancer. So I think we're going to move on to the hopes of some members of Tract.
Juliana, what's your hope for the future?
Well, my hope is that all the endangered animals and species can be saved.
I think that's a beautiful hope.
I grew up thinking that happiness could be achieved whenever people could do whatever they wanted to do. But as I interacted with people from different background and contexts, I started questioning, what if people just don't have the opportunity to do what they want? Or even worse, what if people don't even know what it is what they want? My hope is to build a more collaborative world where we can ensure that everyone can have at least the opportunity to shape their own lives to ultimately achieve happiness.
My hope for the world is to end racism, because the way someone looks should not determine how you treat them. Systemic racism has led to lower pay for people of color, and yet government aid disproportionately brings white people out of poverty. And even though official school segregation has ended, funding differences between school districts with different races are still high. And although voting rights have technically been granted to all races in the US, in reality, voter suppression tactics make it harder for people of color to have their voices heard. As part of a more modernized and interconnected society, we need to be more understanding of each other, so we can continue taking steps to tackle systemic racism across the globe.
My hope is the power of love overcomes the love of power, and the world comes together, united as one.
Hey Arian.
Hey Kian.
Sure it's hot out here.
Yeah, global warming's really hitting us now.
Yeah.
My hope is that by 2030, all the SDGs will be completed.
What is SDGs?
A Sustainable Development Goal. They were created so that by 2030, the deadline for them, poverty and world hunger and global warming, things like that will all go away.
Cool.
Wow, it really is hot out here. I think I'm gonna jump in.
My hope for the world is that they stop global warming because it's bad for humans and animals and our environment.
Hi, I'm Devin and I'm 11 years old, and my hope for the world is that COVID-19 ends and we'll never have to experience a disease like that, because many people have passed away and many businesses have shut down. So yeah, my hope is for 2021 to be a better year and COVID-19 to find a cure for COVID-19.
Hi, my name is Kian, and I think we should live on the moon instead of Mars. The moon is more suitable, and we've been there. But Mars is scary. We've never been there. We've only sent machines to go there. We need to be in any other place on Earth because we're killing Earth, and we should stop. But other than that, we should move to the moon. It's smaller and it's more comfortable. Thank you.
My hope for the world is that kids all over the world will have a chance to get education, no matter what, so that later in life when they have jobs and they have something to say, people will listen to them and treat them with respect and think about what they say. That way they can impact the world in a positive way and make life better for other people. I hope someone finds a cure for cancer.
Well, that was really amazing. Cancer, global warming, COVID, education. That just hits my heart so hard to hear people and their hopes, and just encourages us to continue to really shoot for the moon with these hopes and to share these hopes even more. And I think one of the things I learned just by watching that video is the fact that the more that we can share our hopes and talk about our hopes, the more that we can work together to make our hopes become a reality. So that's one of the things that walked away from me with that video. And if you're watching this, if you want to submit your hope, it's really, really easy to submit your hope. First thing you have to do is you have to go to a website. It's very simple. It's the readinessinstitute.psu.edu. And this is the homepage you'll come to. That's readinessinstitute.psu.edu. And you click on Hope Moonshot. And that's it. And you're at the Hope Moonshot page. We talk about readiness begins with hope. There's a 1-minute video to inspire you, some quotes, some background information about the mission that will happen sometime in the late half of 2021. We do not know exact date yet, but we will soon. If after you submit your hope on January 22nd, you come back, you can come back to the website and get mission updates and an invitation to a virtual launch party. And then at the bottom here is where you submit your hope. It's really easy. Your name, optional. You can put your name if you want to put your name or not. Your country, your state. You submit your hope. You type it in, and then you hit submit. And that's it. And if you're an educator or teacher, we even have lesson plans for you that you can share with grades kindergarten through 12th grade. So we encourage you again to go to readinessinstitute.psu.edu, submit your hope. It only takes a minute or 2 minutes to submit your hope.
So we'd like to encourage all of you to do this. It's so easy. And having hope does a lot, not only for you, it does a lot in helping you focus on what you might want to be doing in the future. So I think without hope, people are much less at ease with themselves. Let's put it that way. Hope really helps you feel more peaceful. So I'd like to encourage everybody to submit your hope. And this is a time in the world when we need as much hope as possible. And I know there was somebody, one of the kids that submitted the hope was hope that we get rid of this pandemic, COVID-19. And I think worldwide, there isn't anybody who doesn't wish for that hope. We all wish for that. So now I think we'll pass this on. Does Julien want to say something else?
My biggest takeaway from the video was we saw a big range of ages, and I just wanted to stress that there's no certain age for having a hope. You could be 5 years old, you could be 80 years old, 100 years old, doesn't matter. It's never too early to hope, and it's never too late to hope. So it doesn't matter how old you are, submit a hope.
And it doesn't have to be grandiose. You know, little kids might want to submit a hope that, you know, they get to do something next week that they haven't been able to do. Whatever hope you have, that's the thing that you should put and submit it. All hopes are encouraged.
And we want everyone to know watching this that this will be the first space mission to the moon that will carry personal items from everyday people on Earth to the moon. So this is truly a generational project and a once of a lifetime. So that's why we want to encourage people to submit your hopes before January 22nd, because it will go to the moon. It will be on the moon. And this is really a once of a lifetime opportunity for everybody on Earth to participate in this global mission. So please spread the word. Like Julien said, tell a friend in school, tell a parent, grandma, and uncle, tell them to tell people at their workplace as well. Our goal is for everyone in the world to submit their hopes, because like we said, the more people that have hope, the more hopeful I am and we are for this world.
That's right. And the more people in the world are hopeful.
Yes. And I believe Julien right now has some special prizes to give away at a live raffle.
Yes, for some astronaut ice cream.
Oh, I hope I buy one.
So let's spin the wheel. So there's our winner. Congratulations. You got some astronaut ice cream. So Tract will be contacting you to get your information for us to send that out to you. Congrats.
Congratulations.
That's pretty exciting.
That's really exciting. And I'm curious to learn if anyone has any questions, would like to answer those questions. But if you do have questions and you're watching this later, go to the readinessinstitute.psu.edu. There's a contact form. We are getting questions from all over the world about the Hope Moonshot project. Can I submit my hopes together as a whole class in one submission? Are there extra lesson plans that I can use? And we want to work with you to make sure that we answer all of your questions. So if you don't have any questions today, again, we encourage you to go to the website, readinessinstitute.psu.edu, to submit your questions. We're always monitoring that contact form, and we will follow up with you with the answers to your questions. But I'm curious right now, does anyone have any questions for us right now that we'll be happy to answer? You can drop them in the chat, and Julien can share your questions with us.
Just give them some time. See if anyone's got a question.
And Julien, while people are processing their questions and typing them in the chat, I'm curious to learn. You said about your hope, the Thon project.
Yes.
Maybe people that are not from Penn State and do not know about the Thon project. You explained a little bit, but that's a pretty cool hope that you have to solve cancer. And what are you doing? That's your hope, but what are you doing to realize your hope, I guess is my question.
The way it works is Penn State's Thon is partnered with a foundation called the Four Diamonds Foundation. And any family that is affected by pediatric cancer can apply for this foundation, and Four Diamonds will take care of any medical bills. So any family can go through this entire journey with their child without seeing a single cost. So Penn State is there to just make those difficult times as easy as possible, even though it's incredibly hard. We're just there to try our best to make it easy on them. And what I do to help out is I go to Penn State Barron, which is a Commonwealth campus of Penn State in Erie. I'm on their executive board, so I'm one of the chairs for Barron. And every year, all the Commonwealth campuses, various clubs and organizations at University Park will collect money, and that is money that goes towards the Four Diamonds Foundation. So it's a pretty great project, and that's where I got my hope from.
Well, that's exciting. Congratulations. And it sounds like something a 35-year-old will do. And I think you're 19 years old?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So thank you for doing that, Julien. Any questions in the chat, Julien?
Yes, we do have some question.
Wonderful.
So we had
I just had another
Go ahead.
suggestion before we start with the questions. You know, a lot of grandparents, they don't know about Tract. Actually, a lot of them don't know a lot about the web. And so I think this would be a great opportunity for kids that are watching to interview their grandparents about their hopes, and they can submit it for the grandparent. And because there are a lot of things out there that maybe they don't even know the grandparents are thinking about. So I would just think that might be something you might want to do. Makes grandparents really happy when their grandchildren give them a call.
That's a great idea.
Esther, that's such a great idea. I was over at my father's house this evening, and his birthday's today, to take him out to dinner, and I was telling him about the project, and he said, well, if I had an internet, I would submit a hope. And I said, well, when you come over this weekend, we'll put your hope in for you. So that was pretty neat. So that's a great suggestion.
Great.
Okay. So one of our questions was, Justin, you were talking about Astrobotic earlier. Do you have anything else to tell us about the rocket?
Absolutely. So Astrobotics is a space company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they received a grant from NASA to help NASA develop a lunar lander to send to space aboard the first ever commercial space flight to the moon. And what I could tell you exactly is I have this box right here that Astrobotics sent us. And inside the box, we have this package where we will take all the hopes that are submitted online onto an SD card, put it in this package, and they will send the package on board the spaceship to the moon. When it lands on the moon, we have an exact location of where the SD card will land on the moon and find its forever home on the moon. But if you go to the readinessinstitute.psu.edu website, we actually have a link on the exact grant that Astrobotics received from NASA to do this project. And so I encourage you to go on, and we have an FAQ to learn more about the project, but it is a project with NASA through the company Astrobotics, and it's the first of its kind mission. We hope to do more missions with them in the future, but I strongly encourage you to learn more information. Astrobotics, you can also go to astrobotics.com. They have information about the mission itself. It's an exciting mission that Astrobotics' goal is that they want more people who live on Earth, not just people from NASA and big private companies, but to have access to space itself. And so that's what they're trying to do. So again, it's a special mission. It's the first of its kind. I encourage you to go to readinessinstitute.psu.edu. There's a link right up underneath Hope Moonshot that talks about learn more about this mission to space, and it will happen in the late half of 2021. We did not have an exact date yet of the launch, but it will happen. It's been approved and it's in the works right now.
Let's see. We've got another question which kind of ties off of that one, asking what else there's going to be in the space capsule. Like you talked about it going on the surface of the moon. You said there's going to be an SD card with everyone's hopes. Is there going to be anything else, or just the SD card?
That's a great question. So Astrobotic, they are collecting various resources to put into this box and send to the moon. I know there's another organization, they are sending photographs and sending it to the moon. And someone asked me before, well, once this information is landed on the moon, what's the goal of the box on the moon? Do you plan on retrieving this and bringing it back home? For this mission, these artifacts will stay on the moon forever, is the goal right now in 2021. However, we talked about the next mission to space. Maybe we can do a certain time capsule and do a project of what goes in that time capsule and then plan on going to get the time capsule to bring it back to Earth, and having students and people think about what's important on Earth to put in that time capsule that we can learn 30 years from now to bring back. So various organizations are submitting artifacts. They're small artifacts that will go on this cargo, but we're just very fortunate through Hope Moonshot with Global Moonshots that we are able to participate and make this available for anyone around the world. I think that's what makes this project different, is that organizations are sending things from their organizations. We are soliciting hopes from everyone in the world.
All right.
Great questions, by the way.
Any other questions?
Not at the moment. Oh, yes, there is one asking about astronaut ice cream and what we
Oh, that's a
think is in
pretty
it.
good question. I want to know too.
I really think it's just dehydrated ice cream.
I believe you are correct.
Space or something. No?
I believe it is dehydrated ice cream as well in a vacuum sealed package. I think it's like Dippin' Dots maybe, but a variation of that.
If anyone has any more questions, send them in the chat. We'd love to answer your questions. Yes, Devin will get you your ice cream. Don't you worry.
That's great. We all should have some of that ice cream. Maybe next time we can arrange that.
Maybe we can get the astronaut ice cream at the virtual launch party and do giveaways there at the virtual launch party. So after you submit your, come back to the website. We'll have certificates to download, mission updates, videos. That's the neat thing, is that we will receive pictures of the box on the moon so people can see that it's on the moon. And you can, and we'll have an invitation to a virtual launch party as well, that people from around the Earth can participate in this event as well. So please check back to the website for dates about that. I want to thank Julien for participating tonight. Thank you so much, Julien. And my heart and my thanks goes out to Tract and their team, and also Esther and her team at Tract and Global Moonshots. Just a tremendous person Esther is, and just a person that brings me hope to this world. Always do. So thank you, Esther, for what you do, and we really appreciate it. And please get those hopes and don't miss out. Do not wake up January 23rd and say, I forgot my hope. Do it now before you forget, or tomorrow or something like that. Just get those hopes in so you know your hope will be secured on a spaceship to the moon.
January 22nd. Don't forget.
Yes. It's coming up soon. Thank you all for coming and listening to us. We really wish you all the best.